Hey team, Chef Eric Gephardt here. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Butcher's Market Steak of the Month Club. Today we're talking short ribs. Love this cut. Butcher's Market is serving it to us today in a plate form. So that is 3 ribs. And notice all the beef on these are on top. There's a little bit of meat in between, but this is really what we're gunning for here. And look at all that marbling. So we're gonna do a little light trim work. We're gonna stabilize our grill or oven today at 275 degrees. Without further ado, let's jump into it. One of my favorite nicknames for these guys is brisket on a stick. So you've got the bones, which would be your stick, and it's similar to a brisket meat, except it cooks a lot quicker. We've got to make up our mind if we want to take off this membrane or not. Again, we're not really eating anything on this side, so you can leave it on there if you want to. I like to take it off just so we can drive a little seasoning and a little smoke through that area. That elastomer membrane really hinders us from doing that. And if you don't get all of it, that is a-okay. But I'm happy with this. We're gonna be able to get our seasoning and some smoke out of there. So while we've got it up like this, let's go ahead and season. Today we're gonna go with a little salt, pepper, garlic powder, and chili powder. These 4 together are relatively traditional. This is more of your Texas style short rib. Salt, pepper, granulated garlic, and chili powder. Just super traditional and a clean eat for a rib. We're gonna let this sit for 3 to 4 minutes until that salt begins to do its work and we can see this seasoning tack up and we know it's gonna stick. Then we'll flip it over, do the same thing on the meat side. Notice that there's a bit of a wedge on this one, and we've got a nice chunk of fat on this side. So I'm gonna do a little light trim work, but I do love some fat content on top. So I don't wanna go too deep. I'm just gonna even this cut out just a little bit. And now we've revealed a little bit of silver skin on top. So I'm gonna slide my knife right through there. You want to get rid of this silver skin. It's known as elastin, and you just don't want to chew through it. It doesn't break down with the cooking process, unlike this fat and connective tissue inside. So we're going to get a really nice bark and caramelization here now that we've revealed it. And we flatten that wedge out ever so slightly. Now, just as before, we're going to do salt, pepper, granulated garlic, and chili powder. Beautiful. Again, 2 to 3 minutes here to let the salt do the work and tack up on the outside. Since we're outside using the Kamado Joe today, we're going to use 2 chunks of hickory. Use whatever hardwood you like. It could be cherry, apple, any other fruit, hickory, oak. But what you're going to want to do is just nestle that smoking wood in the hottest portion of the flame. I'm using 2 chunks today. That should be enough for our smoke. We're going to wait for that to combust. Put in our other deflector shield, so this will be an indirect cook. So we've got our indirect grill going, we got our smoke rolling, we've got our beautiful short rib here trimmed up a little and seasoned up, and now we're gonna set it right on the grill. I'm gonna go bone side down, and we're smoking at 275 for 2 hours. And we'll check back in 1 hour just to see how it's going. I love watching the process. Been an hour. Let's take a look. I like what I'm seeing here. There's some rendering occurring on the top. Look at the marrow coming out of the bones here. We're starting to kind of peek up a little bit and the bones are revealing slightly. This is just 1 hour and we're already starting to get a great bark. And look at that smoke that's rising up now. This is great blue smoke, not that big wispy white acrid smoke that we want to avoid. So beautiful things. We're gonna give it 1 more hour at 275 to 300 and then we'll wrap. We're at the 2 hour mark. Look at that. Look how it stood up. We're seeing a bunch more of the bone there. Nice and bouncy, but still not to where we want it. Not as tender as we want it. So I bet we're at the 180 internal temperature mark. I want to help get through this stall a little faster and get it to that warm butter probe temperature. We want it super soft. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to wrap in butcher paper. And we're going to take our short rib and transfer it to the center. And I'm going to flip this over. And then we're just gonna gently, but with authority, wrap it up, okay? And I love using this paper instead of an aluminum foil. It's able to breathe still, but it keeps a lot of the moisture in there, and that's gonna just help break it down. This stuff doesn't burn at 300 degrees indirect. So if you're doing this in your oven, no worries. Butcher paper is still a great option. Let's go ahead, still bone side down, meat side up. But again, what we're going for is probe tender, and you can stick that thermometer probe through this paper to see when it's done. I bet we've got another hour and a half. So let's close this on up, and we'll take a probe tenderness check in an hour and a half. All right, little rain set in on us, but that is a-okay. I love grilling in the elements. Let's take a look. Oh yeah. Unbelievable. Remember, we're not gunning for that internal temperature, but rather probe tender. Once we get through, like warm butter. That's what it should feel like, and that is exactly what it feels like. And we're gonna let this rest for about 10 minutes in the package, nice and warm. But let's not forget, as usual, the Butcher's Market makes it super easy for us. We got some amazing mashed potatoes with butter. I'll pull that parsley off for garnish for us later. And we're gonna let this heat up while our short ribs are resting. So 10 minutes there, 10 minutes there. We're gonna meat, put them on the plate. Beautiful. Butter's melted, potatoes are nice and warm. Since it's raining a little bit on us, we're gonna go ahead and leave this in there while we slice into these beautiful short ribs. So let's take a look. Oh my gosh. I get so excited about this. Look at that. Easy. Just trying not to fall apart here. Okay. And look how that moves around. It's got that wobble that we look for. Now it's up to us what we want to do. Do we want to slice it into bone-on pieces? Well, I like to kind of treat it like brisket a little bit. We'll do two different presentations for you. How about that? We'll slice this one on the bone. And just take a look at that. Are you kidding me? Nice little smoke ring there. Look at all that fat content. And that's brisket on a bone for you. Now, for this other piece, I'm gonna trace these bones and slice it right off and then slice it into slices. This is perfect for any occasion. You know, short ribs, taking these over to the neighbor's house or cooking for 2-3 people, no problem. Just a stunning bark on here, nice smoke ring, and again, look at all that intermuscular fat, nice and broken down. Thing of beauty. Let's get our potatoes off that grill, get the meat on there, and then it's time for dinner. I am super excited about this one. Meat and taters at its best. Look at that. Oh, effortless. That bite just melted in my mouth. Team, this is absolutely fantastic, super easy. Big thanks to the Butcher's Market. The rain is coming, so I gotta go. Look forward to seeing you next month. Cheers.